After reaching home, Taehyung directly went towards his room. After taking a warm shower, he lay down on the bed. Simultaneously, his mind diverted into her thoughts. He couldn't help but think more and more about the girl. Wait, I didn't even ask her name. What a stupid I am. He smacked his head for his stupidity. But the thing which is confusing him that why she's living like that and who is she? The old bad man never introduced her to us. Maybe she works there. Theo can only think about this. He thought to collect some information about her, which he immediately dropped because Theo is feeling like that they're going to meet again very soon. On his wedding, turning to other side, the boy closed his eyes to get rid from her those innocent eyes. He totally forget that today his marriage date got fixed. The days passed in preparation of the wedding and choosing best stylish dresses for the groom and bride. Everything is settled and ready. Everyone is happy and joyful, while media is excited for some spicy news. As the son of the most successful businessman, Kim Taehyung is connecting knots with the gorgeous, talented model Sen Aram. Taehyung himself is a brand that every media company is crazy for every single thing related to him. Finally, the day comes for which everyone is impatiently waiting and which will decide everyone's destiny. The destiny of three people and their families. Sometimes it didn't take a less than 1 second to turn everything up and down. Time 6 p.m. Location the most expensive mall were non wedding hall. Taehyung is standing in between the guests who is congratulating him on his special day. The beautiful hall is decorated with pinkish flowers with shining purple lights everywhere. Everyone is present there who will not ask it's the wedding of the great Kim Taehyung. Waiters and waitresses are busy serving drinks and hundreds types of cocktails to the guests. The groom is gorgeously dressed up in golden embroidered black suit fitting perfectly on his muscular toned body. Catching every girl's attention on himself on the other side, Mrs. Sen is going towards her daughter room to check if she is ready or not. A proud, ego look is on her face as her daughter is going to marry to the Kim Taehyung. Now her reputation will increase more into the society and she will be counted in VIPs. That's what her greedy brain is thinking. Knocking on the door, she called her daughter, Aram, sweetie, are you ready? There was no response from the other side. Aram, are you in the washroom? Open the door, darling. Mr. Sen also come and ask, what happened? Is Aram ready? Guests and Mr. Kim are waiting. I am calling her, but she is not opening the door. What? Let me see. Mr. Sen knocked on the door multiple times. Aram, open the door. The wedding is going to start. Aram, answer me. Looking at his wife, who is already panicking, he spoke. Why she's not answering? I don't know. Half an hour ago, I checked her and she said she is in the washroom. What are you saying? Where is she? We don't have time. The old man yelled in irritation. We have to break the door. Mr. and Mrs. Sen were pacing from forth and back. Droplets of sweat can be clearly seen on their twitched foreheads. They can sense the darkness getting more and more with each passing second, praying to God countless of times to save them from storm which is going to come at any second. But they ignored the truth that today no one can save them from him. Goosebumps can be felt whenever the thought of him crossed their mind, scaring to them. Loud footsteps sound echoed in the living room. Turning their eyes towards it, and their shaking pupils meet the red eyes of the person, the devil. The groom was waiting for his bride with thumping heart. Hundreds of VIP people were looking at them, waiting for the soon to be Mrs. Kim to arrive, but the happy face of him got occupied by darkness of hell when he get to know the news, after which he is ready to burn everything. Mr. Sen gulped, ignoring the insane beat of his heart. He gathered some courage to speak to calm this devil. Mr. Kim, next words didn't come out from his pretty mouth when the mafia choked his throat tightly, cutting the connection of passing air, creating breathing difficulty. While Mrs. Sen started to shake in fear, seeing the scene, she couldn't think a way to save her husband. What I am hearing, Taehyung spoke in a calm but cold tone. This tensed the whole people who were present there, including Mr. and Mrs. Kim. They know that this calm aura will turn into the scariest aura of V any second, which no one will be able to handle. And that's what exactly happened. Mr. Kim, where is she? Taehyung yelled, tightening the grip on his throat, due to which Mr. Sen's face starts to turn red. Due to lack of oxygen, I asked, where is Aram? Tell her to come right now. With each passing second, the darkness is engulfing his eyes more, scaring people present there. Mr. Kim approached his son and said, Taehyung, calm down. Doing this, you will not get the answer. Throwing the old man's body on floor, Taehyung huffed in anger. His breathings were heavy and audible. Harshly swiping his locks back, facing from back and forth, Taehyung threw the vase placed on table. Due to loud noises, maids and even Anna come into the hall. Anna hid behind a pillar when her eyes fall on Taehyung, who is surrounded by a murderous aura. The situation was getting out of control, along with his anger. Her eyes fall on the suit he is wearing. Is the groom of Aram? What is happening? I am asking you last time. Where is she? Taehyung pronounced the last words, putting a lot of pressure, indicating that it's his last warning. Mrs. Sen, with shaking body, came to him and said, Mr. Kim, we seriously don't know where is she. I went to check on her, but she was not in her room. Then what should I do, huh? Do you want me to go outside and tell the bunch of people and media that the Kim Taehyung's bride ran away? Mr. Kim noticed the frightening faces and shaking bodies. He have to do something, otherwise what his son will do, he himself don't know. Taehyung, please, we have to do something. The problem will not solve like this. Calm down and think properly. Mr. Kim sat patting his son's shoulder as he is well aware of what his son can do when he lost his temper. Looking at them with red eyes, Taehyung spoke in a threatening voice. Listen here, you all. I want my bride. No matter from where you will take her, I don't care. If because of your daughter there will a minor effect on my reputation, mark my words, I will show you and your daughter hell here. But Mr. Kim, then find her. Do anything. Taehyung yelled in frustration. We don't know where is she. Before he could answer, Taehyung threw the vase on the wall, stopping their hearts. Anna screamed because she was near the wall. Luckily, she didn't get hit, but catch everyone's attention, including Taehyung. The devil's eyes fall on her. The darkness of his eyes sends chill down to her spine. Anna, are you okay? Mrs. Lin asked, to which she nodded scaredly, while her eyes are still on the boy in front of her. Never in her life Anna had come across a person who was like Taehyung. The dangerous aura was something that made her heart come out. You come here. Taehyung starts signaling her, by which she stared back confusingly. Me? She asked, pointing towards herself. Yeah, you. Now come here. Anna got scared. She looked at Mrs. Len, who nodded her head. The girl gulped down the nervousness and starts to take towards him, who is continuously eyeing her. What's your name? Hearing his demanding tone, Anna immediately answered. Don't want to make him more angry, Lim Anna. Coming in between them, Mrs. Sen spoke. Mr. Kim, why did you call her? She is just a maid. Her courage faded away when Taehyung gave her a glare. I didn't ask you and don't interfere in my business. The old woman nodded and Taehyung looked at Anna, who don't have any clue what is happening. I want her. Now she will be my bride. His statement left everyone in shock, including Anna. Her heart stopped for a moment and fell into stomach. She couldn't proceed his words or maybe understand, but still, like a naive person ignoring the meaning. What? Mrs. Sen almost have a heart attack hearing that this girl will replace her daughter. She can't let this happen. Mr. Kim, what are you saying? How can she? She is just a poor and orphan girl. Anna pressed her lips into thin line. Don't want to cry in front of everyone. The boy noticed it, who is staring at her, not minding the woman who is standing between them, clenching his jaws in anger. Taehyung pulled out a gun before pointing at her, earning a gasp from every mouth. Taehyung, what are you doing? Mrs. Kim spoke, approaching him. Listen, here, you old woman. Stop the mouth of yours. Otherwise, I have my ways to shut it. For forever, and you know who I am, so don't mess with me. His growl made her head hung low in embarrassment with gritted teeth. His next words stopped everyone's mouth and gave a shock to Anna. Get her ready. Now she will take the title of Mrs. Kim, my wife. Taehyung looked at Mrs. Len, who is also in shock. Get her ready. She should be there in 15 minutes. He is about to leave, but Anna held his arm. Who turned back to saw her looking at him with bleeding, teary eyes. His all anger flew away in a second when she looked up at him with those pleading expression. Please don't do that. I am sorry for what happened to you, but why are you doing this with me? Please let me go. Unknowingly, his hands cupped her cheeks gently. Taehyung wiped her tears and sat looking into her eyes. Why are you saying sorry? It's not your fault. Forgive me. I don't want to do with you, but I can't risk my reputation. It's really important and I can't do anything for it. And now you are only the one who can save it. But you can choose anyone, then why me? I didn't even belong to your status. I beg you don't. There are so many girls out there. Taehyung stared at him, who was choking on her tears. It's true that it's not her fault, and she didn't even match him. Then why he's only choosing her? He kissed her cheek and whispered, You will not regret doing this, trust me. Anna looked up at him, who gave her a small smile. Now go and get ready. The door flew open with a sound of soft music. Everyone's head turned into that direction. Their jaw dropped on seeing the bride entering, looking absolutely gorgeous and dazzling, with a white half-sleeve gown, having sweetheart neckline, a beautifully designed dress, blazing messy bun, and a white silky veil covering her face. Taehyung couldn't take her eyes from her. She is looking more dazzling than the camera flashlights. For some reasons, the boy felt proud. Her breathtaking beauty making everyone focus on her. While Anna is looking down all the time, she is still in shock that how half an hour ago a old piece of cloth is hugging her body and now she is in this expensive wedding gown of her sister who ran away from her wedding. Now she will fill the empty space created by her. by becoming someone's bride, a replacement. Drop of tears fell down when Mr. Sen gave her hand to Taehyung, who held it softly. Holding hands, they are now standing on the aisle in front of each other. Anna didn't dare to look up. She knew if make eye contact with him, she couldn't hold back her emotions. Single second of a life can be a turning point. The two strangers who never meet each other before are now standing in the most beautiful but critical situation of their life. The weird thing is that they just see each other a few times. Taehyung looked at father who nodded and starts to pronounce vows, but he whispered the bride name in odd tone so that nobody could hear. Expect them. Will you have Lim Anna to be your wife to live together in marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live? Taehyung looked at her and said, I do. Will you have Kim Taehyung to be your husband to live together in marriage? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall live? Taehyung can feel her shaking. He carries her hand. She slowly raises her head. They both make eye contact and Taehyung nods his head. I do. I pronounce you both as husband and wife. Exchange the rings. Taehyung and Anna exchange the rings and father say. Their both heart raced at the same moment. This is going to be really awkward and wrong, but they can't even skip it as every single eye is on them. Taehyung slowly takes her steps towards her, who got frozen in her place, sliding arms around her waist. He pulled her closer, and in response, she put her hands on his heart. Both looked into each other's eyes. Taehyung leaned closer, causing the girl to close her eyes, removing the veil from one side. He stared at her for some seconds before planting a small peck on her forehead. The girl opened her eyes in shock as she didn't expect it. Taehyung left her waist slowly while still staring the girl, who immediately looked down, can't be able to resist his dark orbs. Wedding ended, but no one noticed who is the bride behind the veil. They all are thinking that today Kim Taehyung and Sen got married. Without having any idea, everything has changed. Taehyung and Anna went in their car after bidding goodbye to her family. In short, only Mrs. Len and as Mr. and Mrs. Sen didn't even spare a glance at her. The whole ride was dead silent. No one wants to talk and look at each other. One is heartbroken and other is in her thoughts. Destiny plays a tricky game with them. Looking outside, the cold breeze is hitting on her face, while her mind is busy thinking what Mrs. Len had told her. Maybe this forced marriage would become your reason of happiness. God is giving a chance to you to leave this hell. Who knows, he will be the one that will become the reason of your happiness. Glancing at him, Anna questioned herself. Can I expect some happiness and care from him? Will he bring my smile back? Will he be able to heal my wounds, which no one tried to saw? But something hit her, causing her all hopes crash into pieces. But I am just a replacement.